Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Faking Fainting at My Mom's House After My Husband Attempted to Announce My Pregnancy? Background, I am a 32-year-old female and I recently lost my 8-year-old nephew to cancer, leukemia, that he suffered from for months. His parents, my brother and his wife, are absolutely devastated. He's their only son and the family's only grandchild. I married my husband, a 29-year-old male, 3 years ago, and we've always wanted and planned to have kids, but we endured financial and medical hardships, one of them being that my husband had a serious injury that cost him an eye. His other eye can't function properly without assistance. He loves my family and my family loves him, but he can act out sometimes for no reasons. This happened 2 weeks ago after my nephew's funeral, and my mom invited everyone to dinner to honor him. Knowing the occasion, I predicted that there would be potential sad moments and a lot of silence. I took the pregnancy test days before that and told my husband that I was pregnant. He got so excited and was already on the online to tell everyone. Even said he was going to go on Facebook and announce it, but I asked him to quiet down and not mention it during the family dinner, and he said he could do that. We arrived at my mom's house and my brother and his wife were there. They brought pictures of my nephew for us to look at. Some of the family were already in tears until dinner was ready. My brother and his wife were telling stories about his nephew and everyone was affected by. My husband kept giving me signals from under the table saying that we should announce that we are expecting to lighten up the mood. I warned him multiple times as he said he'll do it if I don't. He stood up and was about to open his mouth when I quickly pretended to faint and fell back in my chair. My husband and the others freaked out and stood up. My husband kept shaking me while my mom splashed water over me. I sat up in my chair and acted like I was fine afterwards. I then asked my husband to take me home and he grabbed my stuff and helped me walk. Mom then asked me to call if I felt better. My husband was really buying it until I made sure that we were out, and then I let go of him and started walking casually. He stood there and asked what was going on, and I told him that I just faked fainting to stop him from making a mistake and announcing the pregnancy during dinner. He got mad and rushed back to ring my mom's door, but I stopped him in time. I had him get in the car, and he lost it, calling me ridiculous and complaining about how I played him and ruined this opportunity for him. I called him crazy to think that the dinner that my mom held for my recently departed nephew was an opportunity. I told him that I care about maintaining a decent relationship with my brother and won't let an announcement like this ruin it. I also said that my family needs my support, not a new happy moment. What's this supposed to do, to magically make the pain go away? He argued that we can't hide it forever and that I shouldn't hide the news like it's something to be ashamed of. He was also still extremely upset that I lied to him and did keep saying that I shouldn't have made a scene like that. Am I the jerk? Edit, I don't know if this is relevant, but after what happened, he's been calling my morning sickness fake. He says that he's not a fool for falling for the same tricks, and I kind of understand why he would have trouble believing what I say and do from now on. Alright, OP, I think there's a huge difference between saying that you're morning sick and pretending to faint to stop him from running his mouth. No, you're not a jerk in this situation. You were trying to save the situation and you did the best that you could. You did something extreme, but had he announced this, it would have been even more extreme. Like, there would have been a lot of hurt feelings here. And he could have alienated both you and him from the family by doing something like this. I mean, I've read stories where the person had was completely oblivious to this kind of thing and then made some kind of pregnancy announcement during like a sad time, and it's just completely inappropriate. Also, you just found out this, during the first couple of months of pregnancy are the most risky, and there's a high chance of miscarriage. And that's the reality of it. 15% of all known pregnancies tend to be miscarried, and that's not to basically, put some kind of scare into the situation, but it is to be provide, some important context that maybe it might be a little soon to mention this anyways if you just found out, essentially. So, no, I don't think that you're the jerk. I mean, I think that his excitement is, warranted. I'm glad that he's excited. But the way he's going about this is completely wrong and stupid, quite frankly. Like, he's acting like a moron if he thinks that this is the announcement that people need. You're not planning on hiding this forever. Most people don't announce their pregnancy for, the first couple of months anyways, because it is such a high rate of something happening. You just don't know. So, no, I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation, and I think your husband needs to wise up. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, he got mad and rushed back to ring my mom's door. I mean, is he okay? Who does that? Ruined this opportunity for him? His little nephew's funeral was an opportunity? I mean, really? Really? I get that people are going to say that you could have talked to him. Sounds like you did and he didn't listen and was never going to. You know him and I don't, but I have to say, he sounds like he has issues. And OP replies, yes, I kid you not, he really did. I'm guessing that he was upset after he found out that I wasn't really sick and wanted to go back to tell my mom. I'm not sure why he wanted to return inside my mom's house, but I sure did talk to him even before we got there and stated in my post, but I don't know why he still attempted to make the announcement. I'm guessing he just got uncomfortable with the silence and was so bubbling with excitement that he couldn't possibly wrap his head around the urgency of the situation, around not the urgency, but like the somberness of the situation. Just no empathy. My sister's boyfriend blurted out that he was going to propose to my sister at the visitation for my grandfather's funeral next to the open casket to, quote, lighten the mood. Some people just cannot read the room. Info, when your husband lost his eye, did he also suffer a traumatic brain injury? Because his inability to read the room or control his impulses are extremely concerning. Does he often lose his temper or disregard your feelings like that? His behavior makes him the jerk, but I'm wondering if it's due to something deeper. Our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for moving out instead of paying rent? I'm a 21-year-old male and I currently live with my girlfriend, a 22-year-old female. I moved in with her about a month ago. Prior to that, I was living with my parents. I finished a building apprenticeship in February and got moved from minimum wage to $27.50 an hour. I agreed to work minimum wage for the duration of my 3-year apprenticeship in exchange for my boss buying me a full set of tools over the course of the 3 years, as I originally was going to go on my own at the end of the apprenticeship, but now I'm staying instead. He also gifted me a brand new trailer worth $16,000 when I completed my apprenticeship, so don't start on my boss, he's a great guy. When my parents found out about the wage increase, they demanded that I start paying rent of $350 a week. Now, I would have been happy to pay some rent, but paying always what a studio apartment is worth for a bedroom I share with my brother is ridiculous. I was already paying a third of the household bills, as well as dropping my younger brother, 17, and sister, 15, to school on my way to work each day and picking them up after work, a detour about a half hour, as well as driving my sister to horse shows almost every weekend over the summer, which necessitated taking the occasional Friday/Monday off work. Plus, I do all of the repairs around the house, replacing windows, guttering, fixing the roof, etc. for free. So I refused and offered $150 a week and outlined the things that I do for them. They said it was $350 plus all the above or move out. My girlfriend had just moved out of her home into a studio apartment in order to be closer to university, so she offered to let me move in with her. Her apartment is $395 plus bills, which have been around $30 a week per person, and it's almost half an hour closer to my work than my parents were. I said to my parents in February that I was giving them 2 months' notice and I would be moving out, no longer contributing to bills, and no longer helping out around the house and picking up or dropping off my siblings. They said that was fine. I think they were trying to call my bluff. I moved out in April and stopped paying bills and helping with the house, but kept driving my siblings to school as my parents' car broke down and it took them a few months to save enough to get it fixed. I stopped driving them last week, and today my mom called me begging me to start again and to come and fix the floor of the laundry. The washing machine leaked and the plasterboard was falling apart at the bottom. I refused to help with my siblings and told her that my rate was $27 an hour, but she's family and I would fix it for only $17 an hour. She flipped out and called me selfish and ungrateful. Now my parents are refusing to speak to me, and my siblings are mad now that they have to walk 30 minutes home from the nearest bus stop. We live rural. Alright, OP. I would have a hard time faulting you here. I can certainly understand that this would be hard on your parents, but your brother or sister, I think it's your brother who's 17, he's old enough to start driving, so maybe he should start helping out with driving. I don't know, maybe they should do something for that, and that seems pretty reasonable. And the thing is that you've moved out. You told them that you were moving out, and you made an offer to them, but they didn't accept that offer. Now you're going to be paying less in rent than what you were at your parents' house, and yeah, I think that that's pretty reasonable. I'm sorry that your parents have a harder time now, but they didn't accept your offer. You gave them a chance to accept your offer. It's not like you made an unreasonable offer here. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. I don't think that you made an unreasonable offer. They are the ones who are being unreasonable. So yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. I really love that you pay us $350 a week and share a bedroom and do all these chores and drive an extra hour out of your way each day. For $1,400 a month, OP can buy a house where I live. Oh, was it $350 a week?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought it was a month. $350 a week? What is wrong with these people? Wow. That is a lot of money for a weekly allotment. Like, I was like, well, $350 a month is kind of like, isn't that much? I was like, at $27 an hour, they'll make up for that pretty fast. But I can certainly understand why they wouldn't want to pay that money. But $350 a week, that changes it completely in my mind. Like, I said that they weren't the jerk before, but I mean it even more now. I don't even think we can give these parents credit for trying to teach OP about finances. They are using him as a second income and a third parent just because he's their kid and they think they own him. Alright, our last letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Kicking Out a Friend Prematurely while I had previously agreed on hosting her for a full week? We're not going to read the TLDR, we're just going to jump straight in. So I, a male, live in an attractive European capital, and was recently asked by a friend if I could host her while she came to visit for a month. We haven't seen each other in a few years, and don't know each other for long, but have generally been quite close. I was super excited to see her again and agreed to host her for a week. A week, folks, a week. When she arrived, however, I quickly noticed that things were a bit weird, and I sometimes got the feeling that she was less interested in reconnecting than in the couch I was able to offer. At the same time, maybe the reason for this perceived discrepancy is that I also noticed that I am attracted to her after she was sending me mixed signals like sleeping in my bed. As I was hosting her, I didn't want to make a move, but also struggled to ask for clarification. So the whole situation got increasingly uncomfortable for me and emotionally straining. In fact, the feelings developed were not mutual, so I was hurt. At last, as a consequence of some unrelated reasons, she was able to get keys for her new flat, the one that she was going to move in after staying with me, 2 days earlier than expected, and she even started moving bits of her stuff over. I took that as a chance to tell her how I felt, and that her being at my place is hard on me and uncomfortable. While I didn't ask her to leave per se, I see how she interpreted that as being kicked out, and quite frankly, I was relieved when she left. When picking up her remaining stuff, she was super annoyed that I didn't stick to my promise of hosting her, and that she expected to be able to use my place no matter if she had access to a new one or not. As she was annoyed that I had made my problems, my emotional ones, hers. Now I feel bad about indirectly asking her to leave and not knowing it was a big deal for her, and I wonder if it makes me a jerk to bother her with my feelings, 'cause one way to phrase it might be, guy invites girl, she doesn't return his feelings, he kicks her out. But even then, am I the jerk for putting my mental health first? 1 week, OP. 1 week. You were 5 days in, OP. 5 days. You just couldn't last 2 more days, OP? You just couldn't last 2 more days? Your mental health? Alright, I mean, I certainly understand there are some times when, mental health issues are severe enough and then they, make things difficult. But if you're having a mental health crisis because a girl you like is, in your apartment, then I think there are some deeper issues here, and I think that you should be seeking therapy and getting those mental health issues resolved here, because this was unacceptable. Like, you were in a position of power. You offered her your place for a week as kind of an interim place, and it sounds like you expected more out of this. Like, I know that you're like, oh, well, I just caught feelings. Something tells me that you had feelings before, and that when she came there, you were just kind of expecting that something was gonna pan out for you. And when it didn't happen, you're like, oh, hey, basically get out of my house. And that's what this reads like. I hope that's not the case. Maybe you really did have a mental health crisis here, and this was, severe enough that you needed her to leave. Otherwise, it was going to break your, feelings. I don't know. But, yeah, I just don't see that this was... this does not read like a mental health crisis. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And that's just kind of my feelings here. I maybe I'm wrong here, and if I think if I have judged this wrong, then please, dear viewer, let me know. I mean, I think that that's a very fair thing if someone tells me that I'm wrong here. But yeah, OP, that's kind of my feelings here. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Would I be a jerk if I told a woman that she could stay at my place for a week, but then threw her out early because she wouldn't sleep with me? Let me think. Wow, that didn't take long. You're the jerk. And OP says, framing it that way, it really sounds pretty bad. Do you think, OP? You're the jerk. She didn't have feelings for you, so you kicked her out. It was only a week. Get over it and honor your word. You're the jerk trying to make a move on someone while they were your house guest. And OP replies, I agree. In fact, I precisely didn't make a move. But I told her that I had emotions and it was tough to handle. So, could that be worse? Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.